Joining us now, Israel Defense Forces paratrooper Rudy Rockman. Rudy, thank you so much for being here. As President Biden makes his way to Israel, some of the criticism here in the United States is that people in the region feel the only way you can really combat Hamas and Hezbollah to the north is that you understand what the root cause is, and that is Iran is behind all of this.
It's very clear that Hamas and Hezbollah wars in those areas, whether it's in Gaza or in Lebanon, those are proxy wars, and definitely Iran is behind it, whether it's supplying them with information, with intel, with weapons. I mean, they didn't pull out those weapons out of thin air. In terms of America, I hope that they stop pushing foreign policy onto the Middle East that causes division and supplying weapons to all sides. And I think what we need to do as Middle Easterners is to have a conversation of how to have a safer region in our area and to work together. And I think that this is prevented, especially by Hamas and the Palestinian Authority and Hezbollah, because Iran wants to control the region, and it creates...
Rudy.
I'm on a military base, so they keep screaming. But the point that I'm making is that Hamas, the Palestinian Authority, and Hezbollah do not represent their peoples. They were elected originally, but they're on their 20th year of their 4-year term, and they're oppressing their peoples. I think the larger conversation of how to transcend this conflict is by peoples on the ground, Palestinians and Israelis, to start realizing that their aspirations do not contradict, and there are ways for us to move forward in order to prevent warfare. Because when we're at war, it is the people that suffer on both sides.
As you were interviewing with us, we did hear that the loud noise. You said you're on a military base. Can you tell us what's going on right now on the ground? What was that announcement?
Yeah, so I'm on an undisclosed military base, but this base is filled with soldiers that were called as reservists that are ready to be deployed. This was sort of a drill that they were saying. They don't know that I'm on Fox News right now, but there's nothing critical that was going on. And I want to make a point also that there was something earlier on your show where you were talking about campus antisemitism and how people are hating Israel and denying that the Hamas massacre had taken place or celebrating it. And there's a reason why this is happening. There's been a cultural PR war happening simultaneously to the physical war. And this, in fact, is what fuels the physical war to keep going. Hamas, Palestinian Authority, Hezbollah, and many factions that are against the Jewish people in Israel have been pushing these narratives to intellectual spaces, especially on college campuses, which represent the future political and intellectual class of the next generation, and convincing everyone that the source of all problems is Israel. They've been creating coalitions with minority groups, whether it's the Black Student Association, the LGBTQ+ group, the Native American group, the Hispanic group, the women rights group, and convincing each one of these minorities that if they want to end the injustices that they experience, which is a just cause, they must also be against Israel. And this has been a strategy that has been taking place for over 25 years now on campuses, and convincing the younger generation that the source of all problems is Israel, which is why now when there's attacks against Israel, there's no way to resonate. There's no way to use facts and information and to show what's going on, because they have already a clouded vision that the source of all problems is the Jews in Israel. And that's exactly how anti-Semitism has functioned throughout history. You find the source of the problem and you blame it on the Jewish people. And we see it happening here today. And we have to be able to be clear about what's happening in order to call it out, in order to stop it as well.
Yes, Rudy, thank you so much for that. And thank you for taking the time. We'll definitely stay connected, and please stay safe.